What is up everyone, Dan here, and today I'm going to be doing a video that I really should have done a very long time ago, and that is on why, in my opinion, The Walking Dead Season 7 sucks. Yes, isn't bad, it just sucks in general, like, makes Arrow Season 4 look watchable in comparison. And this is, of course, perfectly timed because The Walking Dead Season 8 is only going to be coming out in just a matter of a couple of days. So I will be doing another video as to how The Walking Dead Season 8 can succeed and not be as bad as Season 7. That video should be coming out after this video and sometime before Season 8 premieres. So while you are waiting for that, let's get into why in my opinion, Season 7 of The Walking Dead sucks. Number one, the pacing. The pacing. Do I even need to explain myself with this one? This whole season just felt so slow with what it tried to do. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with shows that are usually quite fast-paced having a slower pace. Banshee Season 4 was by far the slowest season out of all of the seasons of Banshee, which, is predominantly an action-based show. But the reason Season 4 of that show worked was because the writing for the characters was good, but it also had the mix of action within it to keep you interested. It just wasn't as much as it was before. In The Walking Dead Season 7, that isn't the case. It's just slow throughout. Even when there is action there, it just felt very stale in my opinion. Just nothing really stood out for me massively in the season, other than in the premieres or the finales, which I just found very disappointing. And just in general, it just felt like episodes were just extended, when really I felt like most of these episodes should have been put into one. I don't know why, I just get the feeling that whenever I watch this season, that the writers were just really running out of content to write, so they thought, no, let's just extend this episode for a longer time. And speaking of that, the run times as well. What was the point in all of those extended run times of episodes? Most of the times when they extended the runtime, it was just still a slow episode. It was so slow. And I just didn't really see the whole importance of why they had to extend it when there was already so little plot and so little happening to keep me invested as there was. Let's look at the second problem I have down here, which was the boring, stale, character-focused episodes. Now, this is where probably a lot of people are probably going to have a go at me and say, oh, well, they always have to have episodes to focus on the characters. Yes, they do. And sometimes in shows, I like those episodes. I think by far the best character-focused episode of The Walking Dead is without a doubt The Grove, which is episode 14 of Season 4. And that episode for me is probably one of my favourite episodes of The Walking Dead, because not only was that a character-filled episode, but it also had so much importance to the overarching story of the season, but also the characters as well. And the thing was, stuff happened in that episode, and it affected you. Everything that happened in that episode was just amazing. I mean, the whole Lizzie thing with her killing her sister and then Carol having to put her down, the fact that Carol confessed to Tyrese that, she killed his girlfriend, it was just amazing. That episode is a masterpiece in my opinion. I couldn't pick out a single flaw with it, and that's what annoys me about this season. If the episodes were anywhere near to those standards when they tried to do character-focused episodes, I wouldn't have a problem. But after seeing that episode, it shows The Walking Dead can be like that, but none of the episodes this season come anywhere close to that. And for me, that's just because the writing isn't good enough. It just feels like these storylines were only really meant to be only about 25 minutes long in an episode, but then they realize, oh shit, we have to put this out on an episode itself, so they have to find excuses to make it longer. And I just felt it was very dragged out. I think the worst offense of this by far was episode 6, with the Tara episode. I guess you could count Heath as well, but he's in the episode for like less than 10 minutes, so yeah, whatever. So they focused on her the whole episode. It was an extended episode as well, and it's probably, in my opinion, one of the worst episodes of The Walking Dead. It was so uninteresting, and the whole episode was just nothing more than setup for Oceanside appearing in episode 15 of Season 7, which I just didn't really agree with, and just the whole thing of extending it just felt stupid. Speaking of setup, that gets us into point number 3, which is the whole season was set up, and this is just the sad truth. This season just felt like a filler season. It just felt like it was only there just to have 16 episodes to set up the next season, which just felt really stupid in my opinion. There's nothing really here other than in the premiere and the finales that really have anything to definitively stand on by itself. The whole season just feels like its story is only building up to all that war, which is going to happen in Season 8, which just, I don't know, there was just nothing massive about this season that happened in the middle, or Just something that helped solidify it on its own, rather than just being, oh yeah, this is just set up for the next season. So if you're going to be rewatching this, and that's the problem. If I go back, if I ever plan to binge The Walking Dead, which I probably will not do because of the amount of episodes I would have to binge, I just can't see myself watching a whole lot of Season 7, because it's all just set up. I mean, yeah, sure, there might be 1 or 2 episodes that I really want to watch, but other than that, the whole season is pretty much redundant in terms of rewatchability, in my opinion. And the whole season, I just wish there was something more that stood out about it, in the middle section, that would make me be like, oh yeah, I definitely need to watch this season again. Like with Season 6, it had no way out. That's probably the best episode of The Walking Dead ever. That was slap bang in the middle. That's a reason for me to continue watching Season 6, just to get to that episode, because it's amazing. Season 7 for me doesn't have that, and so, yeah, when I go back and rewatch it, I very much doubt I will rewatch most of Season 7's episodes. Now, the fourth point is maybe a bit of a stretch, but it was pretty bad when I noticed it, and that is, of course, the budget for this show. I think it's no lie that the show doesn't have as high a budget as it did in Season 1, because obviously from Season 2 onwards, it had a budget cut from what AMC released to the press. And yeah, that's definitely showed this season. Now, don't worry, some of the budget was put to very good use. I mean, you look at the zombie makeup effects and the CGI on, Shiva the Tiger. I thought that was pretty good. It was very good. In fact, the CGI on Shiva was actually really well done. But as a result, you really notice where they had to draw the line and make sacrifices on other stuff. Like in episode 10, there's a scene where Rick is standing on like a landscape, and you can clearly make out that not only is it green screen behind him, but there is a plane flying in the background. I'm sorry, AMC, but for a show this popular, leaving those kind of errors in there is just not forgivable, in my opinion. It's just stupid. And then the fucking deer. Oh my god, the deer, episode 12. This has got to be one of the worst examples of CGI in a massive TV show. That CGI deer is not acceptable on a show like The Walking Dead. And it's just stuff like that I just found very, very, just why? Why is it in there? Why does it have to be so below standard? I mean, for a show like The Walking Dead that gets as much publicity as it does, if you're going to leave shit in that like that in the episodes, people are going to pick up on it, like I did when I first watched it. And yeah, it's just unacceptable. You can't have that kind of shit in the show this big. And then the last point I've got here for why Season 7 sucks: the only big things that happen are in the premieres and the finales. This kind of points into what I said with setup, but yeah, the problem with this season is there was nothing good that happened in between the premieres and the finales. Let's throw this back. Season 7's premiere, we had the whole, Lucille scene, Something to Fear, where, Glenn and Abraham both die. Okay, that's a big moment. The other big moment for me was in the mid-season finale, when Spencer and some other woman, who I can't even remember, I think her name was Olivia, I have no fucking clue, because I really didn't care about her character. They both die. In the mid-season premiere, there's like a scene where they kill a load of zombies on a motorway. That's the only thing I really remember about this episode, but at least it's fucking memorable. And then the finale, you have the beginning of all that war. Other than that, in between those episodes, there wasn't really anything that made this season stand out. All of the important stuff, all the bits that you'd be like, oh shit, that just happened, you need to watch that, happens in the premieres or the finales, which is just not acceptable. The only one episode of this season there wasn't a premiere or a finale that I could recommend people to watch because it's actually a decent episode is probably episode 13, which focuses on Morgan, because it was actually a good episode. It actually had good fucking writing, and it actually had meaningfulness and a purpose to it, and it actually changed a character's development in a meaningful way that I cared about. And so as a result, that's the only episode that's not a premiere or a finale that I could recommend, and that's bad. One episode that's not a premiere or a finale, that shows how bad the rest of the episodes were. Oh, I don't want to talk about this season anymore. I'm just going to go into a 20-minute rage. So those are my 5 reasons as to why The Walking Dead Season 7 sucked. Now, this is completely subjective. I know there are people out there, including people that I know like these Starks, who think Season 7 is amazing. And that's okay, that's your opinion. But I'm pretty sure the majority of the fan base does not agree with that one bit. So, if you didn't like The Walking Dead Season 7, let me know why in the comment section down below. And with that being said, I would like to thank you all very much for watching the video, and I hope to see you again next time.